the Sun newspaper in the UK apologises to Prince Harry and gives him loads of money because of stories like this that they ran between 1996 and 2011.
It as a monumental victory. Well, royal expert Sarah Houston is right here. This is so interesting, isn't it? How do you think Harry will be feeling about all of this right now?
I think he'll have mixed feelings this morning because this was a stunning victory, a monumental victory as his lawyer described it. This was really personal for Prince Harry. This is something that has affected his entire life and that of his late mother.
Príncipe Harry tuvo un acuerdo con los periódicos de Rupert Murdoch donde le pidieron perdón a él y a su difunta madre.
Entering the ring on his first round victory over the Mirror Group last year. Now at the same court, the Duke of Sussex has landed another blow against the tabloids. After denying wrongdoing across decades.
I think today isn't going to be the only day that it's necessary to reflect on the scale of the Duke of Sussex's legal triumph over newspapers.
Some breaking news on that Prince Harry case. Let's go straight back to the court and my colleague Rich Preston. Rich.
Nikki, good morning. Thank you. Yes, in the last few minutes, we've had an update from
Prince Harry is back in the news. And you know that he's been pretty open in the past about his own mental health struggles and also the trauma that he experienced having his privacy invaded by the tabloid press. Well, today, along with a significant payout, he actually received a very rare apology from Rupert Murdoch's newspaper group.
The legal team is now calling for a police investigation into Rupert Murdoch's news group.
Harry has unquestionably won in the sense that first he has had a pretty fulsome apology. Secondly, of course, and this is something that's very significant for him and I think for the case, this is the first time that unlawful activities, albeit by private investigators.
Like every other person persecuted by newsgroup newspapers, I wish they had left my family alone. But what happened, happened. Today, I'm glad they have finally accepted responsibility. I'm glad they've apologised and acknowledged the direct harm caused by years of unlawful surveillance by their journalists and their army of private investigators, not just to my family, but to Prince Harry and his. As the formidable Mr. Sherborne and my diligent solicitor, Ellen Gallagher, and her impressive team of lawyers at Hamlins have showed, in over 1,300 civil cases, these unlawful practices were not isolated incidents. They were industrial in scale and central to the modus operandi of newsgroup newspapers as a whole. I once said that the big beasts of the tabloid jungle have no predators. I was wrong. They have Prince Harry. His bravery and astonishing courage have brought accountability to a part of the media world that thought it was untouchable. I am sure I speak on behalf of the thousands of victims when I say we are grateful to him for his unwavering support and his determination under extraordinary pressure. If Rupert Murdoch had any decency, he should follow this corporate admission of guilt with a personal apology to Prince Harry, to his father, our king, and to the countless others who suffered the same unlawful behaviour at the hands of his media empire. Newsgroup newspapers owes so many such apologies. Thousands of ordinary people just trying to live their lives have endured the same unlawful behaviour. Many were victims of heinous crimes, including victims of terrorism, grieving families, and people caught in personal tragedies. I'll never get over some of the stories I've heard in this case. I owe some apologies too. This saga has placed an unforgivable strain on the people in my life. From my former wife Siobhan, mother to my beautiful children, to my wider family and friends. I am sorry that Rebecca Brooks decided you were just collateral damage in their corporate war on the elected representatives who sought their accountability.
Prince Harry versus the tabloids.
Today's result has been achieved only through the sheer resilience of Prince Harry.
The Duke of Sussex will reportedly receive more than $12 million in damages from Rupert Murdoch's news group newspapers.
Although bear in mind that a lot of that is going to be swallowed up by his very expensive legal costs.
The life of his mother, Princess Diana.
Unfortunately, when I think about my mum, the first thing that comes to mind is my mother driving, being chased by 3, 4, 5 mopeds with paparazzi on. There was no protection.
All of this lawsuit.
The goal is accountability.
The truth that has now been exposed is that news group newspapers unlawfully engaged more than 100 private investigators over at least 16 years on more than 35,000 occasions.
Contra el tabloide británico News Group y Newspaper. Uno de los tabloides presentó disculpas al príncipe Harry por violar su intimidad entre 1996 y 2011 y por hackear su teléfono a través de los investigadores privados contratados por el diario. Además, tendrá que pagar una millonaria.
It's in my blood, it's in my DNA, it's in my family. I'm fighting every day so I can live another. That's what they call the chase. I accept the challenge, I am running through the flames. They want the bloodshed, well I can give them more. Cause when I'm on the field, you know it's game on. I'm getting recognized, I am the #1. It's extraordinary, they call me the chosen one. But it's a campaign, this is not alone. This is team effort, coming for the throne. And ain't nobody gonna understand until we show all the skills we got. We keep you on your toes. Put the time in when nobody knows. Moving in the dark, almost like a ghost.
Welcome. This is Majesty's Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time here with us. So it's been quite fascinating to observe and watch within the last 2 days or so the fallout from the settlement agreement with Prince Harry and Lord Watson and NGN, and how some people have twisted themselves into a pickle or a pretzel rather, in order to present this to their audience as something negative, and that Harry did not live up to his word or expectations or whatever, right? Look, they're going to spin it the way they're going to spin it, so it is what it is. But one of the things that I find very interesting is the responsibility that the public has, right? Because Prince Harry has taken this to the court itself, not to the steps of the court, but inside the court. And because of the way the judicial system is set up, for cases like this one, it was in his best interest that a resolution was found and a settlement, how it was negotiated, basically. And the sort of what I've noticed watching some of these chat shows, talk shows, and so on, and call-in shows, and there's almost this sense that people had placed all its responsibility on his shoulders, and now that he didn't sort of go all the way, they're just like, okay, well, I guess we'll just go back to what we've had. And there's this void or this neglect of their own responsibility in shutting down this kind of journalism, right? Or media. But anyways, here is my official take. In the shadowy whirl of media, power, and influence, two names have emerged in recent years as advocates for justice and reform: Prince Harry and Lord Watson. Their legal battle against Rupert Murdoch's news group newspapers, NGN, captured headlines not just for its implications, but for the deeply personal stakes involved. It is a story of resilience, accountability, and the ongoing struggle to redefine the limits of journalistic ethics in the modern era. The seed of this battle were sown long ago in the invasive practices that defined British tabloid culture during the late 1990s and early 2000s. NGN, owners of The Sun and the now defunct News of the World, engaged in a relentless pursuit of personal and sensational stories, often at the expense of legality and human dignity. Phone hacking, surveillance, and misuse of private information became their modus operandi, leading to some of the most egregious breaches of privacy in modern history. For Prince Harry, this was never just about the media. The death of his mother, Princess Diana, in 1997 became a watershed moment for his understanding of the press's power. Hounded by paparazzi and vilified by tabloids, Princess Diana's tragic end left an indelible mark on her young son. Years later, the same machinery turned its sights on Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle, and their family. For Lord Watson, a career in public service brought its own vulnerabilities, with journalists and investigators targeting him and his family during this time in government. Both men's lives became fodder for profit-driven headlines. In September 2019, Prince Harry and Lord Watson launched legal proceedings against NGN, alleging years of unlawful intrusion into their private lives. As the case unfolded, it highlighted not just the systemic flaws in British media practices, but also the peculiarities of the UK legal system itself. Under UK law, victims pursuing claims face an extraordinary gamble. If the court damages award is even slightly lower than a settlement offer from the defendant, the victim must pay the legal cost of both sides. This creates immense pressure to accept settlements, even when the evidence overwhelmingly favors the victim. After years of litigation, the two men faced a critical juncture. With the trial set to commence, NGN made a last-minute offer: a full apology, substantial financial compensation, and acknowledgement of wrongdoing. The stakes were high, and the risk of proceeding to court were immense. Both Prince Harry and Lord Watson accepted the settlement, a decision that has drawn praise and criticism in equal measure. In a rare admission of guilt, NGN offered a full and unequivocal apology. They acknowledge unlawful activities including phone hacking, surveillance, and the misuse of private information. For Prince Harry, the apology extended to the invasive coverage of his mother, Princess Diana, during his formative years and the ongoing attacks on his relationships and family. Lord Watson received acknowledgement for the undue distress caused by unwarranted surveillance and false allegations. While the apology and settlement provided some closure, they also left lingering questions. Was justice truly served? Could this victory, limited as it is, spark broader reforms in the industry? The settlement was predictably spawned by the press, media outlets, and sympathetic commentators as a defeat for Prince Harry. Headlines like "Prince Harry Crusade Suffers Climb Down" and "Meghan and the Money." These headlines sought to frame the decision as a capitulation rather than a victory. Such narratives, however, ignore the structural pressures that shaped the settlement and the broader implications of the case. Critics have also questioned the sincerity of NGN's apology. Without public court proceedings, the full extent of their unethical practices remain obscure. But for supporters of media reform, the settlement is not the end. It is a step forward in a much larger battle.
Hey, Canada. Hey, honey. Hey, Suge. I just want to talk to you about something real quick. I don't know if you know that, but you might have left your door open last night, honey. And now all your weather is just all over my neighborhood and wreaking all kind of havoc and stuff. And I was just wondering when you thought you'd be able to get that back under control, honey. Because if you left your door open, were you raised in a moose barn? Honey, we're just not used to this down here in the South. When I woke up and it was 16 degrees. Honey, we don't mess around with that kind of tomfoolerishness, okay? So if you could just do me a favor and just scrape up all your weather together, maybe put it in a bucket and take it on back up there to Toronto, Minnesota. Up there, honey, because we don't fare so well down here with it. Okay, Sugar Britches? All right, listen, I love you, honey. Go with God. Do me a favor, call your mama and ask her if she left her door open too. All right, bye, Canada. Hey,
For years, individuals like Rebecca Brooks, Rupert Murdoch's close confidant and former editor of The Sun, escaped accountability. Brooks, who once claimed her newsroom was a clean ship, is now revealed to have overseen what Sherborne described as a criminal enterprise. Despite this, she and others remain entrenched in positions of power, perpetuating a toxic media culture that strives on exploitation and destruction. And what of the government and law enforcement? The Metropolitan Police, plagued by accusations of corruption and collusion, has shown little appetite for pursuing those responsible. Lord Tom Watson's word resonate here. Are we really willing to continue as a country where some corporate executives are above the law and out of the reach of the police? And no analysis of this saga is complete without addressing the role of the British royal family. Prince Harry has made it clear that he fought this battle alone, without the support of his family. The royal institution bound by its symbiotic relationship with the British tabloids, has remained silent. Worse, it has reportedly played a role in perpetuating the very culture of abuse that Harry seeks to dismantle. It is no secret that King Charles III and Prince William maintain close ties with the media, including those implicated in this scandal. The palace's silence is in the face of relentless attacks on Harry and Meghan speaks volumes. The very institution that should have shielded Harry and his family chose instead to protect its own image, leaving him and his young family vulnerable. And there's a human cost to all of this. Beyond the headlines and legal jargon lies the human cost of this debacle. Lord Watson spoke poignantly about the heinous crimes committed against ordinary people, victims of terrorism, grieving families, and those caught in personal tragedies. These individuals were not public figures, but private citizens whose lives were upended for the sake of a headline and profit. Look, it is easy to lay the blame solemnly at the feet of Rupert Murdoch and his associates. But we must also confront an uncomfortable truth. Society is complicit. Murdoch's empires thrive because we allow it to. We buy the tabloids, click on the articles, and tune in to the shows that glorify sensationalism and cruelty. James O'Brien eloquently described the ecosystem that fosters this culture. The same newspapers that vilify Harry and Meghan are edited by individuals who have worked across Murdoch's titles, perpetuating a cycle of toxic journalism. They bounce around. It's what James O'Brien called a cabal. This small cabal wields immense power, shaping public opinion and ensuring that dissenting voices, like Harry's, are drowned out, or they relentlessly attack. You know, for me, perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this saga is the countless stories we will never hear. For every Prince Harry who has the resources, the audacity, and the courage to fight back, there are thousands of ordinary people whose lives have been ruined without recourse, relationships destroyed, reputations shattered, and dreams extinguished. All for the fleeting satisfaction of headlines and profit. So, it takes will. It takes the will of the government. It will take the will of the Metropolitan Police. Take the will of the people to see any change really happen.
Stay right here. I've been waiting on this day for years. I'm home here in your arms. No more souvenirs, no more distance left to interfere. I'm home here in your arms, and I'm never leaving. I told you from the start. Take me by the hand and I won't let go. Tell me once again what I already know. And for every moment in time, wherever I go, I want you by my side. Oh my love, when I look in your eyes, I see the rest of my life. I'll stay right here. I wish my vision wasn't blurred by tears, 'cause I wanna have this moment clear in my memory. Yeah, I wanna see it both tonight and for the rest of my life. Oh, take me by the hand and I won't let go, won't let go. Oh, tell me once again what I already know. And for every moment in time, wherever I go, I want you by my side. Oh my love, when I look in your eyes.